no, exercise D today and go to page 8. Okay, go to page 8. I want to do that example. Okay, for exercise C, we want to turn that into turning point form. Okay, we want to use turning point form to sketch things. Okay, so if we want to turn that into turning point form, I said turning point form is the most useful form for a quadratic equation. We know this is the general form. So what we should do to change that into a turning point form? What method we should do to change that into a turning point form? Start with C. Completing square. Okay. If we want to do completing square, we have coefficient 4 for x squared. Can we still do that? What we should do first? Factorize. Okay. So we factorize. Y equals to 4x squared plus 4x minus 6. Bracket. Okay, a little bit revision. Well, we keep the first two terms and we add half of the b squared, which is adding 2 squared. We need to minus 2 squared as well, and then further minus that 6. And if you remember, this bracket always here, okay, it's not touching with that 4, like it's still with a bracket, but inside for those 3 terms, we'll create another. Okay, it's another bracket, so it's x plus 2 squared. Okay, it's x plus 2 squared. So we have create a new bracket, which is x plus 2 squared. And we calculate the other two. Okay, so it's minus 4 minus 6. We have minus 10. Wait, is that really someone else? I saw her walk here and then disappeared when I go to the door. I feel someone walk this way and I go there trying to open the door. No one outside. Yeah. So scary. Okay. We need to do 2 things. Okay, we need to do 2 things from this step. After we complete the square inside, this is, I said, where you need to pay attention. First, I want to make into a turning point form. Second, I want to factorize. Turning point form, I want to see turning point. Factorize is I want to see x-intercepts. Okay, I will do 2 things after this step. Because this is not a factorized form or a completing square form. It's completing square, but it's not a turning point form. Because turning point form is a x minus h squared plus k. There's no black bracket. Can you see that black bracket is not really should be there. So I will expand. Okay, I will expand. So that's 4x plus 2 squared minus 40. Minus 40. And on this side, if I want to factorize, I need to use the inside to factorize. So this will become a root 10 squared. Okay, root 10 squared. So I'm not expanding on this side. What I'll do is y equals to 4x plus 2 plus root 10. X plus 2 minus root 10. Okay, to factorize. I will do 2 things after that step. Because the second last line is not the turning point form or like a factorized form. So I need to do fully expand to make into turning point form, and for the right hand side I will factorize it to make intercept form. So what's the turning point? What's the turning point? -2, Negative 40. Can you see the turning point is not negative 10, it's negative 40. You need to expand it and then see the y value of the turning point. What's the x-intercept for this question? We use the factorized form to see x-intercept. So what's the x-intercept? Minus 2. Yeah, so plus root 10 comma 0 and minus 2 minus root 10 comma 0. I can see that easily from the factorized form. And the last one is, what's the y-intercept? That? What do you mean by y? X-intercept. X-intercept is the coordinate, comma 0. Yeah. It's like, why? I don't know why. What's y-intercept? 0, negative 24. Okay. I find all the key features. Okay, after I complete square, I factorize it, use the general form, I can see the y-intercept, I have find out all the key features. I want to change the scale a little bit, change this to 20, change this to 40, and same as bottom, negative 20, negative 40. X in the x-axis remain the same. Okay, so 20, 40, negative 20, and negative 40. So turning point is negative 2, negative 40. I will have the point here. And each box in vertical is 5. Okay, it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, each one is a 4. And then I have negative 24 is on this point here. 0, negative 24, exactly on the 6th box. That's negative 2, negative 40. Well, if I know 0, negative 24 is there, I will definitely know there's a negative 4, negative 24 as well, because the symmetrical property, symmetrical about x equals to negative 2. If I have 0, negative 24, I will definitely have negative 4, negative 24 as well. Yes? Yeah. Okay, from the general equation, if I sub x equals to 0, y will just be negative 24. So general, well, 3 different forms, I will see 3 different things. From the general form, I can see y-intercept. From the turning point form, I can see turning point. From the factorized form, I can see x-intercept. So that's all the key features I need. So I can get all of this easily. Okay, so the next thing is x-intercept. Well, I can't really see where's my x-intercept. Root 10. Can you tell me root 10 is about in between which 2 integers? 3 and 4, right? So it's in between 3 and 4, 3 point something. So negative 2 plus 3 point something, you have about 1 point something, right? 1 point something. So, well, it can be here. Minus 2 plus root 10, comma 0. And the other one is minus 2 minus 3 point something is minus 5 point something. So minus 5 point something, which is here. Okay, after I have all the dots, I can see what it looks like. I will have this graph here. Okay, I have labeled 5 point. Well, I can label 4. Okay, I don't really need the negative 4, negative 24, but if the point is there, it's just easy for me to sketch the graph. Any questions about this one? Any questions? Okay, if we don't have any questions, we go back to do an easier one. Okay, let's do A. Let's do an easier one. Y equals, there's no coefficient for x squared. Okay, there's no coefficient, just 1, which is easy to complete square. So what I should have is x squared plus 6x plus half of b, which is 3 squared and minus 3 squared and plus 15. Okay, that's what we have. We plus the 9, minus the 9, and plus 15. And for the first 3 terms, I can complete the square, x plus 3 squared. Minus 9 plus 15 equals 2 plus 6. Okay, next question is, can I factorize? Is this turning point form already? Yes. Can I factorize? No. Okay, if I can't factorize, means no x-intercept. Okay, well, if I can see from the turning point directly, I can't factorize, which means I have no x-intercept. You have no x-intercept. I don't need to work it out. Okay, that's it. So what's the turning point for this question? Minus 3 and 6. What's the y-intercept? What's the y-intercept? Sorry, okay. 15, 0, 15. Okay, use the general equation. Have 0, 15. Well, change that to a 10, change that to a 20. Well, the scale is not good. Negative 10, negative 20. And that should work. Well, when you sketch it, if the scale is not right, just change it. I just copy all the same scale from all the questions, but it's not right. Negative 3 and 6. Okay, negative 3 is here. 6 will be, negative 3 is here. 1, 2, 3, 6 is here. Okay, so negative 3 and 6. This is my turning point, okay? You can label that's the turning point. And also, the y-intercept is 0, 15. 0, 15 is in the middle of 10, 20. Well, if I have 0, 15, I must have negative 6, 15. Okay, I must have negative 6, 15 because it's symmetrical. Okay, negative 6 and 0, the middle is negative 3. So I must have that point. Well, also it's a positive shape. I don't have x-intercept. Therefore, the shape of the graph is just like this. Okay, the shape of the graph is just like this. Cross 3 point, enough. Okay, turning point, y-intercept, I don't have x-intercept, that's fine. Well, the negative 6, 15 is just help you to sketch the graph more accurate, but if you don't want it, that's fine. Okay, you still have about a half of a time, so I want you to complete B and D, and go to do the class scheme of work for exercise A, B, and D. Okay, we have done A, B, and D. I see tomorrow. We're doing C tomorrow.